everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful look. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be effect? Also, if I was really just a human, why? Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for FURINA to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone who's two-stepped against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on FURINA's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, FURINA is guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences?
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the...
FURINA's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definition, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is FURINA's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our but now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Furina! No, I still need answers. Let's go, Twirly!
Into the wind.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it? I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
One with nature.
Let the mighty be humbled.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
No, my sword! Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Into the wind.
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? Into wind! Furina. Huh? Who's that? you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am...
Wait a moment. You're... mirror me?
Mirror you, huh?
Mirror me?
The prophecy.
What prophecy? Wait, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain.
Oh, very...
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian.
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people... I will tell you how to save everyone, but...
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have... But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should...
You truly are the perfect human. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost...
Play as... a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But
how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play being a human yourself. I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but... So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent
trial. Huh. How exciting. The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be as the god Fosalor, the god of justice. I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future... this should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thought.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get it right, Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Furina. Think. What do the people want? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That... Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come on to the... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials along... You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the... Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine! There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and so long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Lady Furina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these Besides,
None of these trials were the one that I'm looking.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties.
Lady Furina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid. All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your...
You remembered me, and you... He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and...
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going...
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you.
Lady Furina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of...
I see. It's as I thought, then. As your god, I did already expect... All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water level.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Is that so? The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices. Maybe this is fine. I just... Alright, Furina, don't think too hard about this.
Lady Furina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen...
Lady Furina, I've waited so...
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Furina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should... I don't think I let anything slip today. I just don't know when these days... I feel utterly exhausted.
Lady Furina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria. Almost...
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Furina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Oh, are you crying?
Really now? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. But all I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Furina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a She's right. I could confide, but if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine... No, Furina, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Furina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it
such an outrageous thing to do anyway. To find someone in whom you can confide. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never think about it. Long and hard.
No, I have nothing to say. I am FURINA, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge. Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea and the heavenly principle. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as in other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on at this point. Whether it be myself, or all other Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign,
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Codex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only FURINA will remain. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.